All right, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Monday, guys. Let me move my screens. Welcome back. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Ready for a big week in the markets. Gold had a pretty decent move in Asia. Audio and video good, awesome. Thank you, man. Good morning, guys. Any of you guys on YouTube who are new here, welcome. My name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. I've been trading gold for the past 7 years and mainly focused on trading here in the European session with you guys. So we'll be here for the next hour and a half, and we'll see what we get here for the London session. So we had a pretty decent move in Asia today. So we'll have a look at some of the Asia moves. We'll see what we got for the week ahead. You know, break down all markets, see what we have for the week ahead, and see if we get any trades here in the London session. So, yeah, welcome back, everyone. Good morning, guys. You have to excuse me. I do sound a little bit croaky. For some reason, I've been getting hay fever since being back here in Jersey. So I got the allergies going, but we're all good. We're all good. Good morning, guys. Passed my first combine right at the Sunday Open. Wow, nice. Yeah, you did have a lovely move here on gold. Very, very, very nice move. This is the move that you guys who were here on Friday. we were trying to get these longs here on Friday. Ended up having a very nice move here in Asia, which is good to see. Good to see some volume. Nice to see some volume on gold, having a nice squeeze higher. There's a very nice buy on the 4-hourly chart as well. Now, before we do anything, guys, let's just have a quick look at the news for the week before we dive in. I think there was some Trump news over the weekend as well. There was some Trump news over the weekend. In terms of what do we have scheduled in, let's have a look. So, nothing today, nothing tomorrow for the US dollar. Wednesday, we do have FOMC meeting minutes. And then on Thursday, we got our normal unemployment claims. We do have PMI on Thursday as well. And then on Friday, we do have the Fed speaking at 3 p.m. London time. So, potentially quiet start to the week, and then it could get busier as we go on. I say quiet start to the week. You know, it's already having a pretty decent push up here. Depends on where you did it. If you did it on the new dashboard, the certificate will be instantly. If not, I'm not too sure. So yeah, we got yeah, okay, yeah. There's a pretty decent amount of news coming out over the weekend as well. Lots of Trump news. There was Trump putting out tweets, about 5 hours ago? Can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight. This is stuff that Trump was putting out. He also put this out 5 hours ago as well. Big day at the White House tomorrow. Never had so many European leaders at one time. It's my great honor to host them. So, you know, although there's not much scheduled in today, if we do have loads of Trump news coming out, then it could get pretty active into the New York session. Now, let's have a quick look at the currency chart here. So, you have a very nice buy here on gold. Very, very nice buy here in the Asian session. So let's dive in. You know, anything you guys want me to look at, feel free to post it in the chat. We'll work our way through. We'll start off on gold here. We got London open in about 18 minutes as well, and we'll see what we get here for the London session. So good morning, guys. Hope you had a good weekend. My weekend was good, thank you, man. Hope you had a good weekend as well. I had a busy Friday, busy wedding on Friday. Pretty out of action on Saturday. And then, nice day yesterday. Played paddle yesterday. That was pretty fun. Getting the paddle practice in. For you guys who came on the Bali retreat, played paddle on Bali. That was pretty fun. Played that on the weekend. these are the longs that we took on Friday, guys. You remember we taken these longs here on Friday? Didn't really do very much on Friday after we jumped on. But look at this perfect double top. You guys who are trading Asia, you guys had great buy opportunities today from multiple opportunities. From this big breakout here, once this liquidity was created here again, what does this bring in? Exactly the same thing that we were saying on Friday. People jump in shorts, stops it just above, and you're looking to long up into them levels. So very, very, very nice buys there. So if you guys did take that trade in Asia, great buys right up into that 3,400 level. It's exactly what we were trying to take on Friday, where we had one 20 tick loss and then one break even position. So let's have a look here. So these are the liquidity levels from Friday. Haven't touched these since. So what do we do here? We came down, tagged the lows, had a huge run back up here in Asia. Also tagged the highs and kind of hit some nice resistance here at 3,400. So daily timer. Look at this daily, guys. Look at this big liquidity wick. Could this now be the start of gold having a potential pullback here? Let's see. How did last week actually close? Let's have a look. Let me just want to get up the currency chart here as well, just to have a look. Make sure they're the same. So you closed pretty bearish last week. You had a pretty decent bearish close. Let me just turn this up a little bit. You had a pretty decent bearish closure last week, but you know, we're still this weekly still in this huge range here on gold. Still in a massive, massive, massive range. We got 2 more weeks until this monthly time frame is going to close. I remember we still are at massive, massive monthly and all-time high resistance here on gold. But with that closing very bearish, you know, there's potential for a little bit of a pullback on this. But overall this week, I'd probably want to be following that. This was that Friday close where you didn't really close that convincing, giving us too much. But now that you've came down, you've tagged the low of the week. You've now come for Friday's high. This is a pretty decent reaction here already. Let's get rid of these liquidity levels because this is Friday's levels here. Let's get rid of these. So simple, super simple technicals here. Now we've had this nice liquidity grab. We got support here. We have major resistance here at 3,400. So this is a pretty decent range here for gold. You know, 250 tick range. Very, very, very nice range. Don't see a range and think you can't trade it. It can absolutely be a worthwhile range here. So given the fact that Asia's come down for this huge liquidity wick at a big bullish closure, ideally I would be following that. I'm not really too interested in shorting here on gold. Especially not when Asia from high to low has pushed 350 ticks. A 350 tick push is a very, very, very decent push. So yeah, I don't want to be trying to short here in Asia. We've had this nice little breakout. Maybe we can come up and test some of these highs from the 14th, which was last Thursday. Maybe see if we can get this continuation. How big is this? How big is this range? You got 50 ticks into 3,400, and then 120 back up into these highs here. And that's the hourly. 4 hourly on the currency. Grab the lows. Previous 4 hour closed very bullish here, coming down for a pretty decent bottom wick. Testing 33.50. So ideally, you would be looking to see if this current 4 hour can flip bullish here on the currency and come up and retest some highs. So let's see. Let me just have a look at the lower time from here on the currency. Hourly coming down, tagging previous hourly lows. You did also tag the highs before the push down as well. Grab the highs, push down. But it's a pretty decent breakout level. I wouldn't really be too interested in trying to short against Asia just yet. In terms of, you know, just trading what we see, it was a very, very decent push up here in Asia. It's not really our job to try and fight that. Watched UFC last night. Yeah, UFC was great. Yeah, UFC was really, really good. A big UFC weekend. Let me just move this here. Let me go back to the normal chart. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't get to watch it because it was at Wrong screen, guys. 2 seconds. Yeah, it was a bit. But the other fights were great. Oh no, what have I done here, guys? So 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, the other fights were really, really good. So yeah, nice, very nice push up here in Asia. Ideally, we'd want to see London follow through a little bit. Then maybe you get some more selling into New York. But as of right now, yeah, I wouldn't want to be shorting here. Let's have a look. 30-minute time frame, trying to hold some sort of morning star around these levels. See if you can get a bit of a squeeze here. Not a bad place to see if you can get some longs. You know, came down, grabbed the previous lows, having a nice little rejection here. I want to say boosting about 35. Let's see if you can squeeze it up about 100. It's not too bad. Let me just have a look at the lower time frame here on the currency. Also hasn't tagged the previous highs just yet. Let's see, we got London Open in about 10 minutes here. London Open in 10 minutes. It's trying to show some sort of reversal signs. We're almost trying to find... Yeah, so we're almost trying to form like a little morning star play here from this breakout level. So we'll see if gold's going to have a little bit more of a pullback or if we can bounce from here. Like I say, this is a pretty decent push up here in Asia. Like this is a... If we just have a look at the fib quickly. I haven't fixed the settings here, but you know, you could easily come down for a little bit more of a retracement of this big Asia move before having this push. But as long as we kind of hold these lows here, we should be good if we can see this push at the London Open. Nice to see Asia having a good move again. Asia back with the volume. So let's have a look at NQ. We got time here on gold. We got time. Let's clean up some of these levels. This was from Friday. My first time jumping back in the market since I looked at it on Friday with you guys here as well. So, oh look at this. Let's get rid of these levels. So, pretty decent rejection here on the weekly time frame on NQ. Looks like you could have a bit of it could start to be a bit of a pullback. Maybe back down to this 23.5 level, which was the nice previous breakout here that we saw at the start of August. Potential for a pullback here. Daily's been pushing down for sort of the past 3 days, which you haven't seen 3 consecutive bearish days on NQ for quite some time. I mean, they're not the most bearish candles in the world, but there's a pretty decent closure on Friday. So I would say even if you were going to have a pullback to the highs, you'll very likely come down and tag some daily lows. Let me see here. All right, we've got 9 minutes till London Open here, guys. So you may continue squeezing lower. So I'll be watching Friday's low here, and then I'll be watching some lows back down here. But again, you know, if you're going to see a push all the way down to here, that's going to be more of a New York Open trade. In terms of what could we see for the London Open, you kind of range for Asia. You know, you tried a little push up, little push back down. If you close nice and bearish like this, top wick of the London Open, and I would prefer to be still squeezing lower here on NQ, especially if you hold below this little area, a little bit of a pullback, then you could see if you could, short down into this range. Like I say, you're probably not going to get that big of a move in the London session, but overall, these lows down here to me, as long as they haven't been grabbing the S&P, they look pretty good. They look pretty nice. So I think we should be in for a pretty busy week this week. Last week was kind of quiet on gold. Last week on gold, it kind of ranged for a lot of the week, and this was on the high time frame as well. Gold was kind of stuck in this range from literally the 11th, which was Monday, New York session, for pretty much the entire week. A little bit of a breakout here, and again, huge range. Grabbed the lows here today, and now having a bit of a pullback. So it was a very, very slow week on gold last week. But the reason the weekly had such a strong bearish candle closure is because you had a huge sell-off right at market open in Asia. Huge sell-off in Asia on Monday, then pretty much chopped for the majority of the week. But we still had some good trades in this. You see some nice Nice morning star plays here. Look at this nice hourly morning star. Okay, pulled up. Tag the highs. Pull back. Kind of trying to do similar thing here. Look at this. Nice morning star. Nice morning star. Trying to see if we can get something similar to this here as well. So trying to trade a nice morning star play with clear targets. And if you can spot these on the higher time frame on gold, you can get some very, very, very nice trades. So look at this. There's that other one. Yeah, there's probably even more in here as well. That's what we're trying to play here on gold. Nice bottom wick of that London Open candle, and then see if we can get some longs. trying to play something similar. At least to maybe come up and, we might not hold all the way up into here. It's 130 tick move in the London session, but even back up into these Asia highs, 91 ticks in the London session is a very, very, very good amount. So we'll see. Let me fix this up. 3,400. But the markets are looking good this week. I think we should be in some good trades. I might have to shoot off about 15-20 minutes early here today, though, guys. I do have to check out my place here today. But yeah, we'll see if we can get some. See if we get some positions in the meantime here at the London Open. 30 minutes trying to come down a little bit here. Like I say, London Open in 5 minutes. I'm just going to grab a drink, guys. Give me 2 seconds. We got London Open in 5 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, like I say, guys, anything else that you are looking at, feel free to send it over. Doesn't just have to be gold. We can look at some. We can look at some other markets. GBP, USD. Yep, we can have a look at the pound. We can have a look at some currencies as well. We got 5 minutes to the London Open here, so I'm going to wait for on gold. So yeah, we can have a quick look at the pound. See what the pound was up to last week. We called these nice longs last week up into this liquidity level. So you kind of came up, tagged these highs nicely. I do believe pound could have a bit of a pullback here. Very strong weekly closure though. So I'd be watching previous weekly highs. Daily time frame, I do still like these lows down here as well. So you got two pretty interesting levels. With it closing as bullish as the pound did last week. Ideally, I'd want to be following that. So this is last week's high, kind of stuck in between this little bit of a range here. I like longs here on the pound though. The pound looks good for longs. Let me see. About to close pretty bearish here pre-London in 4 minutes. Got to pull back, still squeezing lower. I don't see any reason to have got short there. But if you can pull back, or maybe fake out buys back above this intraday support would be really nice. With last week closing as strong as it was, I wouldn't really be too interested in trying to short this range. I don't really have many downside targets. You may come for these lows here. But again, look at that weekly time frame. To me, this week, it looks like this is opening instant bottom wick to start to flip back bullish and come up and tag the highs. And the weekly could look something like this. So this current weekly open looks like we're trying to create the bottom wick of the week. This part of the weekly candle. So we've opened, no real top wick, instantly pushed down. So to me, look at where the pound is in the higher time frame. Major support. So any minute this could flip bullish. So I would be looking for longs on the pound here. At least up into previous weekly highs. So if you hold back above this resistance here, in 2 minutes before the London Open, I'd be watching for longs on the pound. Maybe come up and tag Friday's highs as well. Is that Friday's highs or is that the New York highs? Yeah, Friday's highs. So we're watching Friday's highs and last week's highs. So you got two nice levels. You do have these lows down here, but again, like I said, I wouldn't really be too interested in trying to short the pound. I would be seeing if you can hold back above this support at about 3,550-ish. hold back above this area, and see if you can get longs back up into 580, and then potentially back up into 590. London Open coming up here, guys. London Open coming up. Let me see here. Gold 30-minute potentially about to close bearish. How's that hourly looking? Hourly looking on gold. Not really showing too much. Pre-London candle probably about to close a little bit doji here. Maybe a 4-hour fake out, maybe. Starting to reject. Remember, 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes on gold. Anything can happen, guys. We've seen it before. Let's have a look here on Goldie. That's good, that's good. Let's have a look. We can look at the euro as well, guys. We'll look at the euro, the hourly open here as well. Just see how this London candle is going to open here. If we open and instantly come down and tag these lows, it's not a bad place to look for longs. You've got pretty good risk to reward. Like I say, I wouldn't really want to be short in gold today, personally. More so because if we start closing back into here, this is where things can get pretty choppy. So I'd ideally want to be going long here on gold. Let's have a look. So not bad hourly closure there. Came down, tagged the lows, come down for a bit of an instant bottom wick. What would you be risking? You're risking about. Let me see here. Let's see if I get I think a little bit long. Let me see. Change this to ticks. Let's see if you can. I'm going to try and give this hourly Morningstar a play here. See if we can play this hourly Morningstar. Come up and retag some of these highs. Risk off the hourly lows. To me, this looks like you're trying to hold support. Trying to hold the support. Came down. Look at this. Tagged the lows nicely. Holding this nice little breakout level here in Asia. So you would imagine, you know, even for a little bit of a pullback, you know, once you come up and maybe tag some of these highs, you can probably go break even and see if you can continue squeezing. I'm only going in micros here, guys, because it's first thing on a Monday morning. But let's see how much are we actually risking? Very low. Yeah, you're risking about $100 here. If we come down a little bit low, maybe tag some lows and re-break the highs, then potential to have a little bit more. But I'm not going to trade full size on this just yet. But that 30-minute ended up wicking all the way back above, which is quite nice. And the hourly on the currency did actually close bullish. Oh, it's very doji. Big C came down, tagged the previous hourly lows, wicked all the way back above. So you're trying to play this hourly Morningstar here. Trying to see if you can run it back up into these Asia highs. Copper, we can have a look at copper. Copper's heading south. Yeah, we have a copper. We can have a look at oil. It's nice to see copper get waking up a little bit, considering how rangy we have been since you had that massive drop. You had that huge sell-off on copper, And I honestly haven't really watched it since. You know, I used to like breaking down copper with you guys, but you know, once you had that huge sell-off towards the end of July, it was like there wasn't really too much to say. Where was it? Where was our? I think we did some analysis on it last week. Yeah, I do like it to come. These are our levels here from last week. Came up, tagged the highs. I do believe you can see copper come back down for. These would be my liquidity levels here on copper. Come back down into these lows. Gold having a nice little bit of a bounce here, guys. Trying to play this hourly morning star. As soon as you hit previous hourly highs, not a bad place to potentially manage some risk. You can obviously try and squeeze it much higher, but not a bad place to reduce maybe stops to previous 30s or current 30s. Let me see. As soon as the currency grabs the highs as well. Good morning, man. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm just gonna change this to ticks, guys, so you can be more relatable. Ticks. Where are we? So if we start to break back higher soon, guys, like, you know, maybe bring stops to somewhere down here, maybe risk about 13. But right now, keep it below these lows. Just hit previous 30-minute highs. See if we're going to find some resistance there, or see if we're going to break through. As soon as you start tagging previous candle hourly highs, you know, that could be a potential liquidity grab for a bit of a pullback. So we'll see. Don't know if you tagged. Yeah, you did just tag it there on the futures. You also tagged it on the currency. But you don't want to be. I don't want to manage too aggressively. So what we're doing here on the 15. So we're forming some resistance here that I'd love to see it break through. We're also forming some support here. So a little bit of a 15-minute range to see if we can get this breakout here. Nice 15-minute morning star here, guys. Look at this. Rejected, came down, grabbed the lows, held support. Nice 15-minute morning star. So actually risking off that 15 low makes more sense. Because if you re-break that 15 low, you're probably spiked lower anyway. Oh, there you go. Now you're getting a push through there on Goldie. Look at that. Beautiful. Lovely squeeze through there on Goldie. Oh no. What just happened? You guys on YouTube, my light just died. Is the light still okay? I think it's still alright. My light just died there. Thanks, right. Nice bounce here on Goldie, guys. Hourly Morningstar playing nicely. 26 ticks there. Not bad place to start managing risk soon here. See how this 15 is going to close. How's the wedding? Yeah, wedding was good, thank you, man. Wedding was good. It was a good weekend, man. Nice to catch up with old friends you haven't seen in quite a while. It's fine, cool. Lovely squeeze here, guys. I'm gonna manage risk soon here, because this is a very nice, very nice bounce. What I'm kind of thinking is, this could be a potential liquidity grab for a bit of a pullback. So this is a potential reversal level. On the currency, you know, you're back above previous hourly highs, which if we can push through from here, fantastic. But this could be a potential reversal region. Reversal region because you're tagging a lot of previous 30-minute highs. So to me, this is a good place to manage the risk. Up about 35 ticks here, guys. 35 ticks, you know, pre-London session. If you're unlocking 35 ticks, it's not a bad trade. As soon as we start squeezing a little bit, I'd love to. If I saw this 15-minute more, I probably would have added more. So yeah, I'm break even here, guys. Break even. See if this 15, because look, we haven't actually closed above this resistance yet. So you got to stay neutral here. Hit highs of about 35 ticks there as well, which is pretty nice. 35, 40 ticks. Nice little squeeze. Kind of want to see how this 15 minutes going to close here. First 15-minute London session here, guys. Can you explain the morning star pattern? Yep, absolutely, man. Can you explain the morning star? Once we lock in this position, absolutely, man. It's one of my favorite patterns on gold. I do believe it's what Dakota calls the three-bar reversal, I believe. I don't know why I've always referred it to as a morning and evening star. But yeah, we can absolutely explain that. There's a few reasons as to why it's so nice, so I'll go into it properly, absolutely. And what's nice is gold absolutely respects them a lot. A lot. They're a great reversal sign here on gold. So you've got a nice morning star here on gold. You had, evening star to the opposite side. You've got a nice morning star here. Look at this. You reject, grab the lows, push, reject, grab the lows, push. So you reject, grab the lows. You're trying to see if you can get that push. So that's that previous hourly high there, guys. That's the reason for managing the trade. It's because that could be a liquidity grab for a bit of a pullback. I see there's 15 close. But yeah, as soon as we get out of this play, I'll break it down for you, man. Absolutely. Whilst this is playing out here, the reason I like the morning star play and evening star play so much is because typically the middle candle is what we refer to as the liquidity grab. So yeah, you may get break even here, guys. Look at this. This range is pretty tough here. I was hoping we could break this, but again, gold hasn't broken out of this 15-minute range, so stay neutral here. Don't get too excited with the trade. You hit 35 ticks. If you guys trade in one contract, lock it in. That's a London session trade. 35 ticks. I'm waiting for 3 micros, so I'm happy to let it run. 35 ticks in London session, guys. That's a good trade. You guys have been trading London for long enough. Should know that. But yeah, the reason Morningstar plays is so nice is because that middle candle is what is typically the liquidity grab that squeezes most people. So for instance here, you can kind of see it here. This is an hourly Morningstar play, but on the lower time frame, what's this? This is a level where people jump in longs, whether they sit their stops just down below the previous low. So there's your liquidity grab, which is the middle candle of a morning star play. So that's the reason I like them so much, is because that middle candle is usually the liquidity grab. And that's what gold loves to do before having a reversal. It loves to come down, tag previous lows before then having that push. Tags previous highs, then has the push. Let me see if I can... Where are we? Let's find a good one here. And yeah, gold, you spot them on gold. Gold does it a lot. I do believe ENQ does it as well. But here. So you had that bearish candle closure. Come down, tag the lows. There's your liquidity grab. Lower time frame, people jump it long, sit stops just down to below. Come down, grab the lows. And then that's that nice reversal. And you can kind of see you got one here in the hourly time frame. Here's your hourly one. You reject. Come down, liquidate the lows. Now you're trying to see if you get that push. And you can also see there's also one here in the 15. Look at this. Rejects, grabs the lows, retest, then has the push. So you've got a 15-minute morning star and an hourly morning star. And then an evening star is the exact same thing but to the highs, which gold loves to do as well. So you close bullish, you tag the highs, you maybe close doji, a little bit bearish, top wick of the next candle, then you get your trade. We've got 2 minutes until this 15 is going to close here, guys. See if we're going to close bullish or not. See if we're going to break out of this range. But look at that. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you do get them extra liquidity grabs. Like this looks like a nice evening star play to short from here, risk off the high. But sometimes You get them added liquidity grabs. But why would you not short this evening star? Well, you didn't tag the highs. Look at that. You never tagged the highs. Why would you not short this evening star? Because you hadn't grabbed liquidity. So you don't just want to buy and sell, every single morning and evening star play. You want to be doing them at good reversal levels. You don't just, every time you see a morning star and evening star show up, you try and buy and sell it. The reason I'm trading this hourly morning star is because you've had a beautiful breakout in Asia, and you've come back down to this breakout level, and I'm trying to see if you can come up and retag the Asia highs. But this is having a lovely push, guys. You may have to lock some in here soon. 1 minute till this 15 is going to close here. Yeah, I know, yeah. I just don't think it really works that well on gold, man. I think for other markets it does, but yeah. I know, he can't see him does it well, but I think about 50 ticks here. I'll let this in here. See, 15 closing very nice and bullish here, guys. Look at this lovely, lovely breakout here. Very, very nice breakout. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Yeah, you try and scale into gold, yeah, you end up scaling into a resistance that hits liquidity, and then it ends up just completely pulling back. How's the currency looking? Currency's looking pretty good. Coming back in some strong resistance levels here in the currency. Around 33.54 in the currency is a pretty strong level. Let's see how this 15 is going to open. And you guys hearing this, you want to take some partials. It's not a bad place to do so. You're up like 46 ticks right now, which is a very, very nice London trade. But we should scale in a little bit more. Nice 15-minute breakout there. If you come up and instantly tag the highs, it might be a good sign to potentially lock in some gains. Maybe it's a lovely, lovely push. We're going to trail this up a little bit. Let's lock in 20 here. I wouldn't want to see price come anywhere near these lows. I want to see a little bit of a pullback and continue drive. I wouldn't want to see price come anywhere near these lows, so I can trail a little bit here. Close for 35. Yeah, beautiful pull. Nice trade, man. Managed to get back in. Up 30 ticks. Nice, man. Nice. Lovely London trade here. Closed 48 ticks. Nice. Had 51 on Asia. Wow, amazing. 51 in Asia and 48 in London. That's amazing. Yeah, Paul's got lettuce hands. That's almost 100 ticks on a Monday. That's amazing. There's your cushion for the week. Coming up to them previous 15-minute highs here on gold. Lovely, lovely squeeze here, guys. Remember, guys, gold is coming into a bit of a reversal level on the higher time frame, so don't get too excited. Don't be look at these wicks. Look at where the dotted line is. The dotted line is price right now. Look at these massive wick rejections. Not a bad place to be open to managing your trade. If you want to close some partials or you want to move some stops, always got to see that markets from that neutral perspective. Doesn't matter if you're long or short. You always want to be open to these things, because if you get too glued to your longs, then you'll miss these key reversal levels and then end up just hitting the trade back at break even. So coming up to previous highs there, currency tagging previous 15-minute highs. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive on the margin here. I don't want to see this 15 come back lower, so I'm going to aggressively trail here, guys. If you want to just close at the previous 15 highs, you can. I'm happy to just trail. Lock in 43. If I'd seen that stuff, I would have gotten more size here. Nice push here on a currency, coming up and trying to break through the highs. You can close partials if you are in for more than one contract. I'm in for 3, so I could close, I could close 1 or close 2. I'm long 3, so I could sell back, some partials right now. Because, I'm only in micros here, so I could sell 1. And I'll just close a little bit partial. 57 ticks here, guys. Nice, very nice squeeze here in London, guys. Look at this, a beautiful push. Beautiful push. This is a very, very, very nice London push. 56 ticks here. Yeah, I'm closing that there, guys. That's a very, 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 very nice London trade. I'm locking that in there, guys. That's a very nice London trade there. Tagging previous 50-minute highs. If you want to hold some partials up into the highs, you can. But as you guys know, for a London trade to push 60 ticks is a very, very, very nice trade. So I'm happy to lock that in personally there. Higher time frames coming in some big levels. You're also tagging previous 15-minute highs. This 5-minute looks pretty overextended now in the London session, so you could easily pull back and start to range. So yeah, I'm locking that in there, guys. Very, very, very nice scalp there. I love another trade. Yeah, he would have had it and pull right back down. So yeah, we'll take that, guys. We'll take that. Nice Monday morning trade there. Pretty similar to the trade that we were trying to take on Friday as well. I think Friday we hit about 50 ticks on Friday as well. But today actually followed through. Now I only took it for 3 micros. You know, I was trying to see if I could maybe get in more. But if I'd noticed this 15 morning star, I would have got it. But still, lovely, lovely, lovely trade. And what was that trade all based off, guys? A decent Asia breakout. So very nice Asia breakout. And an hourly and 15-minute morning star. Look at that hourly morning star. Hourly morning star, hourly morning star, hourly morning star. This was a 30-minute one here. So yeah, this is absolutely non-signal class, guys. I'm just trying to break down the reasons behind the trade. I don't want you guys just copy the trade. It's about understanding the reasons behind it. So you spot these trades and you own it. It has some very, very, very nice push. Very, very nice push. And yeah, like I said, if you've got partials, hold into these Asia highs. But for me here in the London session, this is more than enough of a move. More than enough of a move. NQ stuck. Let's have a look. Yeah, I like NQ to the lows, but gold was the play here this morning. Gold was shaping up the nicest here. Gold was the play. Lovely squeeze here on gold. 51 ticks, nice, good job. Yeah, like I say, it's all about, you know, it's not about following the trade blindly. It's about understanding the reasons behind the trade. Because, like I say, guys, these are characteristics that gold loves to do. Pretty much what we did here, Scott. I'm not too sure what you mean, man. The exact same way that we just took it. You don't trade. I don't trade after the morning star. You're trading the last candle of the morning star. Like I don't wait for this candle to close and then try and trade. Like I'm trying to trade. Like if I see price rejecting, come down, grabbing the lows. As soon as this candle closes, I'm already anticipating that this is going to be a morning star, and I'm buying the open of this candle. We're risking up that low and getting in and out. So same thing here. Same thing here. As soon as this candle grabs the lows and holds support, I'm anticipating that this is going to be a morning star play, and I'm buying this candle. You know, you don't want to wait for this candle to close and then try and go along, because if you wait for this candle to close bullish and then try and go along and then you see it's a morning star, it's probably a bit too late, because you'll end up buying right at resistance. So I like to buy as this candle comes down, grabs lows and holds support. I'm buying, anticipating it's going to be a morning star. Nice start to the week. Yeah, nice start to the week. Yeah, definitely. Especially for a Monday morning here. And considering how London has been relatively quiet recently, especially last week. London was very quiet last week. Other than Friday, you know, Friday we had 2 good trades and some good volume. Yeah, it's a very nice London trade. And that was it's a 60 tick move in 20 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes. 22 minutes. Do you like the ES closures above? Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. Kind of similar to NQ. To me, this looks like you're going to have a bit of a pullback. You know, you tagged highs on Friday, came down. Now it looks like you have a bit of a rollover. Let me see. I like be watching NQ as well, because you know if NQ grabs these lows, ES doesn't have to. I mean, you're coming some support here as well. Could you have a bit of a pullback here? Maybe. I don't think this is the nicest opportunity in the London session. I think there's nicer opportunities in London here. Because, you know, like even if you kind of look here in ES, like look at these wicks to the left here. You know, these wicks are telling us something. These wicks are telling us there's big resistance. So if you start buying from here, you know, where are you buying into? Oh, to me here, you'd be buying right back up into resistance. So I think there's nice opportunities out there personally. Have a good one all. Yeah, you too, man. You too. See you tomorrow. Locking out before I ruin my payout. First payout after 2.5 years of trading. Wow, amazing, man. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible, man. Yeah, and it's only Monday. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's only Monday morning here. We're getting some nice plays. We got all week here, guys. We got all week. Gold still squeezing a bit high here, guys. Nice. If you guys are holding any partials, this is pretty decent push. Very, very decent push. Yeah, 3400 is a lovely level, Corey. Yep, 3400 is a beautiful level. That's good. Yeah, coming back up into that 3400. Yeah, I have that on my main chart here. Yes, that's a good point. You got gold back at that 3400 level, which is that higher time frame, massive resistance. But to be honest, looking at this 4 hour, looks like you're probably going to come in and fill in the 4 hour wick. However, you know, like I said to you guys, on the 5 minute, this is a pretty decent push up for the London session. Gold's not just going to keep running up. That's not how gold moves. If gold's gonna hit these highs, it's gonna have a decent pullback. Well, if your entry's from here, or rather than watching a trade go from being up 60 ticks to back to 0, lock in the trade. And if you really want to add more, you add more down here. You don't add more here. That's the reason I'm happy to close the trade, because I can see this having a bit of a pullback. So rather than me watching a trade go from 60 ticks into profit to potentially being up maybe 15, well, I'd rather just close the trade, because that's a pretty decent London push. Gold is never just gonna close bullish and just keep closing bullish. That's not how gold moves. Gold doesn't just keep pushing up non-stop. So if you want to add on gold, you add back down here. You don't add up here. And if you really want to add, for me personally, I don't add into winning trades on gold, because it doesn't really trend that much that you can add in that much. If you get from here to here, that's a decent move. From here to here, you could pull back, 30, 40, 50 ticks before then going higher anyway. So you average out a worse entry, you end up averaging out an entry like here. Well, if you have an average entry of here, why not just lock in the trade and just add in another trade here if you really want to? Here the winner. Oh yeah, sorry, I was taking some screenshots. What time frame is the best to use when trading? There's no such thing as the best time frame. All time frames align. But for me, higher time frame paints the picture. Lower time frames purely for execution, based on what the higher time frame is telling me. For me, lower time frame here on gold is purely for execution. So for me here, hourly here, grab lows, held support. So when this candle opened, that candle's my confirmation. Now I can drop down to my lower time frame. But there's no such thing as, I think I always, for some reason, I don't know why people always love to find one time frame that works. There's no such thing. You use all time frames to align together. Sometimes the 30 might look nicer, sometimes the 15 might look nicer, but your whole entire trade direction, for me anyway, should be based off the higher time frame. So my higher time frame candles close, then I execute on the lower time frame. If my hourly's not confirming anything, which was kind of London last week when we were in these very, very aggressive ranges, then there's no reason for me to trade the lower time frame. Because if you try and trade the lower time frame when gold's doing something like this, you will get chopped up all day long. And not only will you lose a lot of money, you'll also massively mentally drain yourself for no reason other than trying to take a trade just because you want to take a trade. So trading lower time frame is good. I like trading, you know, the 15 and the 5 minute, but I'll only trade the 15 and the 5 once the high time frame confirms what I want to actually see. If the hourly doesn't confirm what I want to see, or the 30 minute doesn't confirm what I want to see, then there's no reason for me to search lower. Because going lower is going to make it more confusing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you took every single breakout in the 5 minute, yeah, you would get chopped up all day long, especially, you know, in times like this on gold, or in times like this. Look at this. You tried to trade during times like this, which was kind of a lot what we saw last week. And even though we had some great trades last week, that's where you end up giving back, you know, all of your gains and going on tilt and mentally blowing up. So yeah, you only want to be dropping down to low time frame once the high time frame confirms it. Aaron, how did you become a full-time trader? It looks simple, but is a very hard pathway. My journey was maybe different to what most people could do. For me personally, I wasn't really too focused on trying to make thousands and thousands a month. I was kind of like, you know, if I could make 1, 2, 3,000 a month, then I'd be very happy. So then I kind of quit what I was doing. I quit my job. I moved to Asia and just took up full-time trading there because I knew I could live there for very cheap and well. And it gave me more time and freedom to focus on trading. Obviously, not everyone can, you know, make that sort of commitment, but I was, I guess, fortunate enough that I was able to. And it was kind of, I guess I had it kind of fortunate. I was lucky enough that it was towards the end of 2020 COVID time, so everyone was working from home anyway, so there was easier ways to, you know, work remotely whilst trading. I was like, okay, cool, I can do this, and I can give myself the time and less pressure. You know, if you try and have a full-time job and then you want to quit your full-time job and go straight into full-time trading, it's very hard. But for me, you know, and again, like I said, I didn't care about making like a full-time living off trading right away. I was like, if I can just, you know, make enough where I can kind of afford to trade and travel, I'll be very happy. And I'm also in a career that I know I can scale very well once I actually get consistent. Like I say, not everyone can do that, of course, but if you can, to me it was one of the best things ever, because I was like, well, what's the worst that can happen? You know, all my friends went traveling and went backpacking with like no real backup. I was like, well, I'm gonna go live in Asia for a while and see if I can get trading down. The worst happens, I come back to doing what I was doing anyway. Big deal. Nothing changes. I've came back to my hometown for the first time in like, you know, 2 to 3 years. Nothing changes. So you give it a go. It doesn't work. Who cares? No one's gonna say, "Oh, I told you so." No, you give it a try. But for me personally, you know, before I took the leap, I had a personal account. I also had savings and I had funded accounts. So I built up a good buffer to take off the stress as well. Like I didn't get to, you know, traveling and trading somewhere in Asia and be like, I need to make money. I was like, if I make some good trades and I make some money, great. But there was never a need and pressure because I gave myself savings and backups before I took the leap. And this is why I locked in the trade here, guys. You're coming into high time frame resistance. You got 3,400. If gold's going to continue pushing up, it doesn't just keep pushing from here. And this is exactly why I don't add into winning trades on gold. If I want to add into a winning trade, I'll just close the trade and add in a new position. Because you just add into a winning trade up here, or, you know, you're now minus 50 ticks. So your original trade that was up 50, you're now minus 50. You're probably just into a little bit of drawdown. Platinum about to break down a bear flag. Have a look. Platinum, yep. Hourly time frame, Morningstar are the better guides. Yeah, high time frame is better. Yep, definitely. You know, I mean, this execution was kind of off a 15-minute Morningstar as well, but the actual direction was based off an hourly Morningstar. Yeah, high time frame for the direction, absolutely. Sometimes, you know, you might be able to trade a 4-hour Morningstar. You know, you might see a 4-hour grab the lows and close doji. Then for this 4-hour open, you might be just looking for longs. So for this here, you know, when this 4 hour comes down, grabs the lows, at the open of this 4 hour, I'm only looking for longs because I'm looking to follow this liquidity grab and a breakout. I'm not looking, so for this bottom wick, you know, here, when this is creating a bottom wick, this is where everyone gets trapped in pullback shorts. Whereas when this, you know, here, this candle here, grabs lows and closes bullish, like this, the open of this candle, 3 AM here lunchtime, I'm only looking for longs. Why? Because my higher time frames grab lows and close bullish. So now when I drop down to the low time frame, I know what direction I'm looking for. I'm wanting to see longs. Why? Because you grab lows and closed very bullish. I don't want to be fighting that. I want to be in tune with the markets and following the markets, not always fighting them. So when people, you know, this is the 4 hour rip and bullish. So when this has these little pullbacks, everyone go, oh, maybe this is the short. Maybe, you know, this is going to be the massive short and, you know, you're going to come down and grab some lows. But when you see this pullback and you understand what the high time frame is doing, you know this is just the bottom wick on the 4 hour to continue pushing up. So you see this pullback as a potential buy opportunity. Why? Because the 4 hour has been what's confirmed the move. So the 4 hour or the hourly. So for us here, you know, all we're trying to work out is what's going to happen in this next hour, because we're here for an hour and a half together. And what's going to tell me that is based off how this previous candle closed. So when it grabs lows and holds support, I'm buying this candle. I wouldn't be shorting it. If I'm going to be shorting gold, I'll be shorting gold closer to 9 AM if you actually break out. So you use the higher time frame to kind of understand, you know, I'm always in my head, and the same as the daily time frame. You know, I look at my daily candle closures and I'm like, okay, cool, where could this daily tap into? Do we need to come and liquidate highs or lows? And I'm trying to picture how can that daily candle close and how could it form and how could it look in order for me to take my next trade. So it's here. You know, when this daily grabs highs and closes bearish, well, on this day, you got easy sells. I'm shorting this all day. I'm not buying this. Why? Because you have a huge liquidity grab and a bearish closure. I'm shorting this day. I'm not looking for any longs. Whereas most people, you know, first thing in the morning, open their charts. All right, straight to the 5 minute. Which way are we breaking out? Oh, we're breaking out long. Okay, cool. Let me try go long. Oh, damn, now we're back down. Okay, let me try go down. And then you go look at the higher time frame, you just get chopped up. Whereas you go zoom out for a minute, and that's what should make the most sense. Look at this hourly rejection here, guys. What an absolute perfect exit there on gold, guys. Absolutely perfect exit. Beautiful, beautiful exit there, guys. Perfect entry and a perfect exit. Absolutely beautiful. Again, I explained the reasons for exiting this trade as well. So, like I said to you guys, it's not about following the entry and following the exits. Understand why did I say I want to take profit at these highs? Because it was previous 15-minute highs. You've got 3,400. I was also saying don't get too excited. This is huge higher time frame resistance. So understand the reasons behind locking this trade and the reason I didn't add. Now, to you guys who did add, which I saw some of you guys said you did, it's not that it's a bad idea, but adding into trades on gold here makes no sense. If you really want to add into a trade on gold for whatever reason, well, you don't do it here. Gold isn't a market where it just pushes up and just keeps ripping. Like, this is not how gold moves. If you're going to add into gold, you know, you'd be adding it on a maybe rejection here. But this candle closed below the support, so you're probably now just going to keep pushing down. Somebody said, my exit is your add. It's the reason I didn't add. It's not to say, told you so. It's just to say that's not how gold moves. If you're going to add into a winning trade, or you're not going to add into a winning trade at massive, look at this, here. Why would you add into a winning trade at a huge hourly level? If you want to add into a winning trade, add into a winning buy position, you're buying at support, not resistance. Excellent trading teacher, thank you. I appreciate it, man, thank you. Appreciate you guys stopping by. First thing here on a Monday morning as well, guys. We got all week here as well, guys. We got all week here as well. Have you been to Sri Lanka? No, I've never been to Sri Lanka, actually. I would like to go, though. I would like to go. I've never been. Yeah, 100% Ian. I add into swing trades, absolutely. But again, you know, even still, you know, when you add into swing trades, you add into swing trades at swing points. So even if let's say if this was the daily time frame, and you were buying from down here, where would you be adding into a winning trade? Well, it would still be if you can hold some support here. It still wouldn't be up here, but yeah, I agree. The only time I will add into winning trades on gold is swing trading. No, I wouldn't re-enter here. Look at this hourly. Look at this huge hourly rejection. I appreciate it, man. Learn more from trading live through the most YouTube videos. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's what we like to hear. I don't like to just, you know, you guys just to copy the trades. It's about understanding the reasons behind the trade, because that's what's important. Nice, Dusty got to 35. Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Like I said, guys, it's not about just... And even if some of you guys didn't take the trade, but you just wanted to watch it, that's amazing. Well done. It's about, like I say, it's about understanding the reasons behind this trade. Why did we get in here? Why did we exit here? That's what's really important here. Why did we even take, you know, go back and watch the stream? Why did we even go long in the first place? What was the reasons for going long? Why did I say I'm not going short? You remember? You guys remember the start of the stream? I said I'm not shorting gold today. Why did I say I'm not shorting gold today? Why did I say I want a long gold? Don't just, you know, don't just sit and watch these streams and wait for someone to press buy and sell. Everything that we've done here this morning, I explained all of it before it happened. Like I say, I'm not saying I'm a guru or an expert. It's just to understand the thought process and the reason, you know, because that's what trading is. Trading is like an elimination process. Like I'm trying to eliminate a certain direction, and if I'm trying to eliminate, you know, a bias, and I'm trying to see if I'm okay. Am I going to go long or short today? Well, I'm not going to go short today. Why? Because I don't like this range here. Look how ugly this range is. If price closes back into this range, look how the price action was last week. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Like I don't want to trade in here. I'm not going to get a high probability trade in here. I'm going to end up doing something stupid and taking a trade I regret. So if price closed into here today, you know, not say you can't trade, but it would be very, very rangy, and it would be, you know, almost trying to force a trade. So that's the reason I said I'm not shorting gold today. The other reason I wasn't shorting gold today is because you had a massive liquidity grab and a bullish breakout. So I don't want to be fighting this massive Asia liquidity grab and breakout. I want to be following it. I want to be following the markets, not fighting them. So then I come into London, I go, okay, cool. Well, I've eliminated any reason to want to go short. Therefore, I'm only really looking for longs today. Now that's not to say that the markets have to push up. It's just to say that I personally just won't short, and that's okay. You know, if gold ended up just having a huge breakout and I didn't get short, well, that's fine. That's not my trade. That's simple. We're not here to trade every single up and down move in the markets. We're here to trade the moves that fit our plan. And if my plan wasn't to go short today, but gold had a sell-off, and people go, oh, I told you so, well, I don't care. That's not my trade. It's simple as that. I'm not here to trade every single up and down move on gold. I'm here to trade the move that makes the most sense to me. And if gold did end up having a big breakout, I'd say, okay, cool. Maybe if you can break out of here, you know, then I'll take my short. Because this range from here to here looks way nicer than trying to trade, you know, from here to here. Here's a range I don't want to trade. Anything above this range, I love longs. You break back below the support, I like shorts. You know, whereas I think most people come onto the charts. You guys come onto the charts saying, no, today gold's going up or today gold's going down. It's like, no, I don't really care where gold's going to go. I'm just eliminating what I'm going to do. So it's not to say that, you know, when I say I'm only looking for longs that I can't go short or that price can't go lower. It's just say that I personally won't be reacting off that. I like price. As long as you hold above this, I only want to be going longs. If I want to go short on gold, well, I'll go short maybe once you break out of this messy range. Exactly, man. Yeah, work with the charts. Exactly, that's it. We can't control the markets. You know, we can't control if gold goes up or down. So why does everyone always want to fight it all the time? We don't. We want to be in flow with the markets. If price is breaking out, you know, you go long. If you have a reason to go short, cool, you go short. Want to be in tune and in flow with the markets. Zoom, guys, give me 2 seconds. So, YouTube, guys, unfortunately, I do have to wrap up here a little bit early today. I have to check out of the place that I'm staying. But either way, great morning here, guys. Very, very nice trade, and hopefully you guys took some value and learned something from here as well. So, I will see you guys same time again tomorrow morning. Trade safe today, guys. Remember, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Here's the Topstep YouTube channel if any of you guys are new here. We'll be live again, same time again tomorrow. So trade safe, and I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Have a good day, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.